Today, on the DCiReporter, Black Lives Matter movement holds a demonstration in support of Sandra Bland and Tamir Rice. Once again, DC Mayor Muriel Bowser starts the new year with a 5K run. We're visiting Kwanzaa celebration in the city. Another demonstration against Donald Trump in DC, this time from the Asian American community. We remember some Washingtonians that passed in 2015. And in our Places and People segment, we'll learn about the Wright Public Charter School. This is the DCiReporter. Welcome to the DCiReporter. My name is Franklin Garcia. You can watch us online at dctv.org or DCiReporter.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at DCiReporter. On New Year's Eve, the Black Lives Matter movement held a demonstration in support of Sandra Bland and Tamir Rice. This is one of many demonstrations throughout the nation by the Black Lives Matter movement asking for justice for African Americans killed at the hand of police officers. On December 31st, the Black Lives Matter movement organized a protest in Washington, D.C. The protest was in support of Tamir Rice and Sandra Bland, after it was known that no one would be indicted in either case. Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old child, was shot and killed on November 22, 2014 in Cleveland, Ohio by a police officer. Sandra Bland was 28 at the time of her death. She was arrested for a minor driving violation and turned up dead inside a prison cell under suspicious conditions. Organizers are calling for justice for these victims.
My name is Eugene Perrier. I'm with the Stop Police Terror Project because what we want to resolve to do in the new year is keep this movement going. Every 28 hours, a black person is still being killed by a police officer, a security guard, or a vigilante. 1,100 people have been killed this year, and as we see with the case of Sandra Bland, as we see with the case of Tamir Rice, there's still no accountability for police officers in this situation, and this movement has to continue, and we're excited to be able to come out here in DC on New Year's Eve and inject that message into the conversation, that these are things that we have to do, have to continue. We've changed the conversation worldwide. Now we need to start changing policy, legislation, and the situation on the ground.
A few hundred showed up to the protest, which started at a busy intersection in Chinatown.
We're in solidarity, in our disappointment, in our anger, in our frustration, but we're not going away. We're not going to stop being in these streets. That's right. We take over business as usual. And as we leave 2015 behind, 2016 will not be business as usual.
Tamir still has a whole family that mourns for him every single day. We all have the honor to be out here tonight taking action, not only for Tamir, but all of the lives that have been taken brutally by the state. I ask that you all be mindful that Tamir belongs to us, but he belonged to a family. And so this New Year's Eve, that family is making plans without Tamir. Their lives revolve around this every single day.
Some took the opportunity to address other killings at the hands of police officers.
My son Alonzo Smith was killed on November 1st of this year. He was killed by two special police officers at Marlboro Plaza apartment complex in Southeast DC. My son was beaten to death. We do not know why my son was in custody of the special police officers. They're not telling me anything. The autopsy report has just recently been released, and the cause of my son's death is a homicide. However, my son's case is now in the grand jury hand, and the grand jury is supposed to convene in January. What I would like to see happen is there's two special police officers that murdered my son to be indicted.
The Black Lives Matter movement is seeking justice for the killing of black people at the hands of police officers.
We're here today in sympathy of those who have been killed by the police. We are here because we want to stand up for people who are suffering these injustices. We are here in their name. Remember their name. Remember Tamir Rice. Remember Sandra Bland. Remember all those young, black, people of color, people black and brown, who have been killed, their lives have been cut off. We are here for them.
DC Mayor Muriel Bowser kicked off 2016 with a Fresh Start 5K run. This is the second time the mayor gets Washingtonians to join her on her 5K run. It also looks like you may not have to wait a full year for the next 5K run with the mayor. On January 1st, DC Mayor Muriel Bowser started the year with her second annual Fresh Start 5K run. This year, the event took place at the Kinman Park neighborhood in Ward 7 and attracted residents from all over the city. A series of warm-up exercises took place immediately before the run. The Fresh Start 5K run is part of the mayor's Fit DC initiative, which aims to get all residents of the city to adopt a healthier and more active lifestyle.
2016 to you. We are looking forward to the second annual Fresh Start 5K. And it's a lot of people that couldn't get up this morning, but we're here, right? Yay! And then we're going to have another big race in April. So we're not going to wait a whole year for our Fresh Start 5K. We're going to do it all of the time. So we have a thing in DC called Fit DC, right? So Fit DC is a partnership with my doctor from the Department of Health, Dr. LaQuandra Nesbitt. Yay, Doc! And all of our friends at DPR Parks and Recreation. Thank you, Keith Anderson. And you may have heard you have no excuse, because in 2016, all of our weight room facilities at DPR are free.
As part of the mayor's commitment to health and wellness, the mayor has directed the Department of Parks and Recreation to waive residents' fees at all the recreation centers in the city in 2016. The mayor plans to host the 5K run at least twice a year. Many residents from different parts of the city were excited to participate in the 5K run.
Hi, my name is Lena. I live in Ward 5. I think this is an amazing event. This is how you start off a new year. I'm an avid runner. I feel good when events like this are in the community, to see people out taking a real, serious view towards health and running and fitness. I mean, this crowd is amazing. The race was fun. And I'm so looking forward to this next year, bringing my family and more of my friends out. So thank you, Mayor Bowser, for making things free, for help, and definitely pay attention to the community. And I love this.
My name is John Fanning, and I live in Ward 2, and I'm happy to be here to support Mayor Bowser and a Fresh Start Fitness DC for 2016. And also to lose a few pounds.
Hello, my name is Julio Guiti. I'm here participating in the 5K marathon organized by the Muriel Bowser administration. One of the reasons I decided to come here is to support this great initiative started 2016 with good energy. Of course, promote diversity and create a network with different members of the administration and DC residents. Thank you.
Throughout the month of December, many celebrations were held in the city. Residents of Ward 8 celebrated Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a week-long celebration that started in the U.S. by an African American. On Saturday, December 19th, the Ward 8 Democrats hosted a Kwanzaa celebration. The celebration took place at the Wright Demonstration Center in Ward 8. Kwanzaa is a week-long celebration celebrated in the U.S. and other parts of the Americas where Western African culture is prevalent. The celebration was started in 1965 by Marluna Karenga, an African-American professor. Kwanzaa has 7 principles of African heritage, and each of the 7 days is dedicated to one principle. Kwanzaa symbols include a kinara with 7 candles, which are designed to convey the 7 principles.
Umoja is a Swahili word for unity. It is defined as a way that we strive daily to engage in practices which build bonds of affection and attachment to our family members, to our school teachers, to our neighbors, our friends, and our community.
Good afternoon. I am Melvin Deal, the founding director of the African Heritage Dancers and Drummers, and it was our distinct pleasure this afternoon to be a part of the Ward 8 Democrats' Kwanzaa celebration. It is an annual affair where we come together to celebrate the 7 principles of Kwanzaa: Umoja, Kujishakilia, Ujima, Jama, Nia, Kuumba, and Imani. We tried to bring all of those values into focus and get everyone to focus on the necessity for unity and quality of life for everyone. We were performing earlier this evening with drumming and dancing, and we had people from the audience to come up and join us. So we hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday, that you practice Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, or whatever other persuasion you may celebrate during this wonderful time of year. May God bless you all, and we hope to see you somewhere at some celebration before this holiday is over.
Donald Trump continues to be a controversial figure in American politics. His latest call to deny entrance to all Muslims coming into the U.S. got him some reactions from the Asian American community. District residents continue to hold demonstrations against Donald Trump. On December 16th, the Asian American and Pacific Islander community were the last organized group to hold a demonstration against the Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. The Asian American community is standing in support of the Muslim community after Mr. Trump issued a statement calling on the U.S. to deny entrance to any Muslims traveling to the U.S.
Asian American history tells us that we cannot stand by while hateful rhetoric is used to demean and exclude Muslim Americans. For me, what hit home was hearing the call for a new Muslim Exclusion Act, and 1,000 uninformed voices agree with them. I was born a long time after the Chinese Exclusion Act, but it is central to my family's history, and I am conscious of it even today. When my grandfather immigrated in 1929, he was not accepted with open arms by America. He was shunned and rejected. He was forced to work marginal jobs as a laundryman or a cook, what they used to call coolie labor, because people never thought that he had the intellectual capability to do any better. Though my grandfather faced racism constantly throughout his life, the racism that most profoundly affected him was legalized and codified in the Chinese Exclusion Act. This racist law, passed in 1882 and upheld until 1943, was xenophobia and racism of the worst kind. It completely barred any legal means of immigration from China and forced generations of Chinese Americans like my grandfather to come to the U.S. with no papers and no opportunity to become citizens.
Right, we're seeing Trump and others begin to really escalate their Islamophobic rhetoric, and we're feeling that impact in our communities, especially those of us who are Muslim, who are South Asian, who are feeling the impact of these words on our bodies. But I also want to be clear that the crisis of rhetoric is not the same as a crisis of policy, and that crisis of policy has been ongoing for a very long time. Right, so policies like CVE, countering violent extremism, that have legalized Islamophobia in our government, in our country. Programs like PrEP, the Priority Enforcement Program, that have legalized profiling in our immigration enforcement. Right, the Department of Homeland Security, which still does not have a guidance against racial profiling here in the U.S. Those are crises that have existed long before Donald Trump gained a spotlight.
14 years ago, in the days following the 9/11 attacks, NAPABA came together with other members of the Asian Pacific American community in this very same spot to denounce anti-Muslim hate and violence. And it's a very sad day that we have to be here together again. But we stand here together to raise our voices against hate. We stand here together to raise our voices against acts of violence that are terrorizing Muslim, Arab, Sikh, and South Asian American communities.
This is one of many anti-Trump demonstrations in D.C. that started shortly after Mr. Trump called Mexicans rapists and criminals.
The name of the boat that brought my family to this country wasn't the Mayflower, and as a descendant of immigrants, I'm proud to welcome the generations of those who have continued to come and build this as a great nation. In South Carolina, the Confederate flag is coming down. A federal court has ruled that the Washington Redskins logo, which is racially offensive, will not receive federal protection, and our own Department of Interior has made it clear that that logo will not be on federal property because of its hurtful connotations. Well, right down the street is a symbol that is taking on that same level of racist and hurtful connotation, the Trump logo, which is also on federal land, also on federal property. Mr. Trump didn't build that building. He didn't buy that building, and he doesn't own the land. That's the people's building, and we're here to ask that the Department of Interior take that logo off that scaffolding that's on our land, not his.
But in reality, I hate everyone. Anyone who can't give me this stuff. I love this stuff. So thank you very much for coming, everyone.
We now remember some Washingtonians we lost in 2015. Washington is home to the Richard Wright Public Charter School for Journalism and Media Arts. The school, located in the southeast part of the city, is the first public charter school offering a journalism and media arts concentration. We're now going to meet its founder and CEO, Dr. Marco Clark, who will take us through a tour of the school.
Hi, I'm Dr. Marco Clark. I'm the founder and chief executive officer of the Richard Wright Public Charter School. I'm so excited that you guys decided to come by and say hello to me and really find out some intricate parts of our school. We are the only school in the nation's capital or the surrounding area to focus on journalism and media arts. We're very excited about that, and the reason being is that we provide a voice to the community. Our kids have an opportunity to be able to make sure that their word is out there and that we're teaching them to be media literate. What does that mean? That means that we're teaching them to be responsible about putting things on YouTube, Facebook, and any other social media, because those things tend to come back and haunt you. I've been a lifelong educator ever since I graduated from college, and I'm so excited about the work that we do with young people. So as a 23-year veteran, I've gone from every position that you can imagine. I've been a teacher, I've been a dean, an assistant principal, a principal, and now I am the CEO of the Richard Wright Public Charter School for Journalism and Media Arts. We do this because we love what we do. We love children. Children are always first, and you have to be passionate about what's going on. Everyone should be excited about education in the District of Columbia. I know there's a lot of challenges that we have, but there are a lot of great people who are concerned about the lives of young people, and they're putting everything they have into it. Here at Richard Wright, we have some amazing teachers, amazing administrators, and some amazing parents that are pouring a lot of their hard-earned energy. They're putting their time, their money, and they're making sure that they put their money where their mouth is. We're making sure that our kids tackle school head first. We don't have any metal detectors at this building because we're not breeding inmates, but rather we're breeding students. And so we check kids in by checking their homework and making sure that their uniform is in line and making sure that they had something to eat the night before and that they have a great smile on. And then we have a community meeting every morning called Family Matters, because family does matter. And if you have a school that has a positive culture, then you will create a family environment where kids feel comfortable and that they have bought into the mission of the school. I'm excited about what we do. Our mission at Richard Wright Public Charter School is the mission of Richard Wright Public Charter School is to transform students in grades 8 through 12 into well-versed media contributors. And there's a whole lot that's being said with that. At Richard Wright, we do this triple L thing. We set limits, we teach lessons, and we do it all in the name of love. And we finish by saying, good, better, best. Don't you ever let it rest till your good is your better and your better is your best. You can do it. You just have to put your minds to it. Thank you very much.
We at the DCiReporter want to thank our viewers for voting us News Public Affairs Program of the Year. We're very thankful for the DC TV Voice Award and commit to even better programming in future editions of the DCiReporter. Remember, you can watch us online at dctv.org or DCiReporter.com, or follow us on Twitter at DCiReporter. I'm Franklin Garcia, and I will see you next time on the DCiReporter.